Hi, welcome back.
Okay.
With how saturated the gacha market
The
is today,
perfect
it
gacha.
can be kind of confusing to find a gacha game suitable for you.
Alright, take a look.
With all sorts of people recommending all sorts of different games with varying degrees of goodness, you may find yourself wasting your time on a gacha game like Dragon Ball Legends that screws you over whenever you try to pull for a new unit. So, in this video, I want to look over at the perfect gacha game for almost every type of gacha player. Whether you're a hyper-addicted to gambling PvP expert or a laid-back mint picker.
Clippers, all this is like free clips. It's free clips. Just slam it. Just slam it in. Just slam it in.
I've got something for you today. Before we start, just make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this in the future, and join the Express Friend Discord server for a fun and lovely community to hang out with, all about gaming and anime, where you can join giveaways
what is
and
wrong with
Maruzensky,
bro? This dumb bitch just keeps staying up late.
We're going to be looking at several games
Holy
for each type of player.
shit, what is wrong with this dumb bitch? Oh
ranging
my
from
god,
meta chasers to casuals to gooners, and assigned a few gacha games for each of them. Games can be assigned multiple types of players, so you will see one game multiple times, just focusing on different
we didn't even get
aspects of that
Muteki
same
hints in
game.
this
So,
run, bro.
first type we'll be looking at is the meta slave. These types of players chase the meta but have probably never met a girl before in their lives. So, whether in PvP or PvE games, there's always that type of player. If you like PvP, gacha is probably the best way to constantly screw yourself over because of power keeping, company greed, a lot of that stuff. But there are still games that are perfect for you. Dragon Ball Legends is the best example of a game that will always screw you over. It's a PvP gacha game that used to have tons and tons of power creep, and it will probably always have one of the worst gacha systems of all time because it has no pity and a very low chance for ultra units. The PvP scene is also filled with the whales and pay-to-win players, so the only guarantee is that you're gonna hate your life. If you don't like breaking your phone every time a maxed out whale player dog walks you, then Summoner's War is probably a better pick. Even though this game also doesn't have a pity system and does definitely have whales that will dog walk you, it doesn't have much power creep, if at all, and will be a much better time than Dragon Ball Legends. Other PvP games include Ethereal Restart, which definitely has questionable longevity, so play at your own risk, as well as Epic 7, which has been alive and well for a very long time.
Epic 7 is literally the best game in
sanity, but still probably suffer. Then there are PvE games with
I'm not getting a single speed.
The biggest example is probably Honkai Star Rail, where the meta always changes in favor of the newest units. Be careful though, because power creep is heavy in that game. There are probably no 4-star unit releases planned for a very long time.
You're literally getting a
full-time
game.
They will become half as effective as they were in the previous endgame cycle. However, there are still a lot of people who have fun in Honkai Star Rail, and as long as you're having...
lord, the Cypher's body proportions are absolutely fucking insane, bro. Holy shit, oh my god, bro. It's so sad that she had the second highest sale in HSR history. This unit had the second lowest sales in HSR history. Oh my god, because everybody went pulling for Finon, and then everybody went pulling for Fake Codec. Oh my god, bro, look at her, bro. Holy shit,
that nobody can tell you what to do. Just make sure you're not getting screwed over by Hoyoverse. Unless you like that too, of course, for whatever reason. Some other meta-chasing games where there isn't much power creep include Wuthering Waves or Zenless Zone Zero. Wuthering Waves has a slightly complex combat system where you can take advantage of many different teams and always have something that's at least pretty viable in every piece of endgame content. Although your device may suffer a little bit because optimization in Wuthering Waves has been pretty bad lately. In Zenless Zone Zero, the combat is definitely way more just mash left click until you win, but also definitely has some cool mechanics, so your meta-chasing brain will still have some fun. Also, Wuthering Waves and ZZZ will be recommended for other types of players. Arknights is also a wonderful game for meta chasers, where there are many different challenges to complete for everyone.
What is bro saying? What?
One of the best gacha games of all time.
Types of players?
I'm looking forward to what they do with the next game, Arknights Enfield. I honestly have nothing negative to say about
Gooners? Bro, you might as well play Brown Dust too.
Challenges, as well as a good story and good characters. Another game I would nominate for the best gacha game of all time is the Battle Cats.
Holy shit,
that's a super good game. It is probably one of the most challenging gacha games, and in a very, very good way. You do not need to pull
satisfying
when
it hits. It's genuinely so satisfying.
And the gacha system is one of the best because you can literally track where you're going to get, so you will never ever miss if you do it correctly. The units you get are always super powerful no matter the rarity, and they will always be super useful in every piece of content the game offers. I love this game, but sometimes it is very, very difficult and challenging, and I start hating it, but in a very good way. If you like very hard content that's delivered in a simple but insanely effective method, the Battle Cats is the perfect game for you.
It is the perfect
The next
game.
type of player is the story nerd. There are many games to
Story
suit this type of player.
nerd.
It's honestly kind of crazy.
Oh boy.
The first game I think of when recommending something for a story-driven
Oh
player
boy,
is Limbus
story
Company.
nerd.
The gameplay itself isn't that good,
Limbus
even most
Company.
Limbus players themselves admit that. However, if you're there mostly for the story, you will have a great time. The world building in this game is immaculate. I was very interested in the lore I was reading on the loading screen when first downloading this game, but the gameplay was just not enough for me to be interested in the game itself, as a gameplay first type of guy. However, if you like story, you will love
So the
Limbus
gameplay
Company.
is ass.
I would also suggest Reverse 1999 for
Oh
story
my God, bro.
lovers, since that game also has a good
1999
story.
is literally
Honestly, I
changed
can't
my
tell
life.
much of a difference between
Exclamation
Limbus and
R1999 to have
Those two
a
are like fruits of the same
life-changing
tree.
game. Right
Another
now,
great
they are
story-driven
currently
game
having
is
the
Fate Grand
Assassin's
Order,
Creed
and obviously
collab.
it
So
has a
hop
great
on
story
over
because it's a Fate
exclamation
game. Fate is one of the
R1999.
longest running and most successful anime series of
I
all
think we're getting
time.
cooking our
It does
Makina,
have
but I
much
just don't give a
better
fuck.
gameplay than both Reverse 1999 and Limbus Company, so
Okay.
if those two lost you on their gameplay, I would definitely suggest Fate Grand Order. I just really hope that Starwell doesn't screw up their Fate lore during the collab. Oh, and HSR isn't on this list. I f***ing hate HSR story. It might have gotten better in 3.3 and 3.4, I genuinely don't care. I'm not putting it here. I guess I'll have to have it as an honorable mention to remove as much bias as possible, but nothing more than that. It has pretty decent lore, but a lot of it has terrible storytelling. The next story-intensive game is Nikke Goddess of Victory. Now, a lot of people say they play Nikke for the plot, but I don't think they're lying. Nikke's lore and story are actually
like
very
HSR.
highly praised by anybody who
literally hurt
experiences
my
them.
feelings.
They might have had
He
the player's
doesn't like
curiosity
HSR.
with the goon bait, but they grabbed their attention with the story. If you're like under 18, probably don't play Nikke, but otherwise if you enjoy a good story, definitely give it a shot. A few other honorable mentions that have very highly rated stories are Arknights, Punishing Grey Raven, and Guardian Tales. The next type of player is the Goon. I'm not gonna say much because we all know what we're talking about here.
The Goon.
Nikke Goddess of Victory, both the plot and the plot like we said are good in this game. Snowbreak Containment Zone. You ain't containing the Gooners in no zone with this one.
The
Azure
Goon.
Lane, also insane for Gooners. Love and Deep Space for the gals and gay dudes. Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero have two metas, one where you actually have to play the game and be challenged, and another where you have to play with one hand. Also, Battle Cats unironically has insane designs. Now for the serious part, if you simply like good character designs, then here are the best gacha games for you. Honkai Star Rail is definitely in the top 3 of the gacha games with the best character designs. Some people don't like Hoyoverse's style with all the asymmetry and bare shoulders, but I honestly think they're just nitpicking because all that stuff looks very good. When
He
comparing
likes
it to Genshin,
HSR.
for example, it's much
Oh
more
my
of a
God, he
mature
hates
art style that
Genshin.
doesn't look like you're playing a kid's game.
Oh
The
my
designs in
God,
Star
it's
Rail all look
literally
very
dog shit.
incredible. The only one I would genuinely call ugly is GACHA, and of course, since HSR
Oh
is
my
here,
God,
Honkai
Xiao
Impact
Qiao
3rd
is
will be too.
ugly.
HI3 has some of the best designs in gacha ever, and that will
Goddamn.
always be true. Arknights in this regard is probably number 1 for me, and when it drops, Arknights Enfield will probably end up having
Okay, so
even
he's a
better
furry
designs, which
gacha.
I'm super stoked for.
Yeah, I got it.
Arknights characters have such a good style and vibe to them, which
Oh,
I'm in love
the
with.
dragon
The art style
Ababa is good.
itself that their splash arts are drawn with is super pretty and appealing.
Damn, the
Other
dragon
games that have
Ababa is
really
really
pretty
good.
designs are Reverse 1999 and Limbus Company. They both have super pretty art styles as well. And finally, we have the casual player. This type of player just wants to log in for
Casual.
1 hour a day as a maximum and does not think too much while playing their
Casual
favorite games.
players.
The perfect game
Oh,
I think
hell
of is
nah.
Genshin Impact.
Not in
It's
my chat,
practically
bro.
made for casuals because
Casuals.
the devs themselves are probably
Oh my
very
God,
casual.
disgusting.
As in, not very good at their
Disgusting.
job. Still though,
Absolutely
I can't
not.
lie about this game being absolutely perfect for the casual player base. It's pretty low maintenance unless you want to hard clear every single bit of exploration and maximize artifacts fully, and unless you grind for 7 hours every day, you will always have some exploration content to do. Honkai Star Rail is also great for casual players, but its gameplay is definitely way more hardcore player focused. And to be honest, I can't really think of many more games that would be as perfect as Genshin is for casuals. You know, because other devs actually try to have real content in their game that isn't walking around and picking mint. And that's everything I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got anything to add about any type of player or any type of game for each of these player types, then definitely comment them down below. Other than that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Join the Expression and Discord server for a fun and lovely community to hang out with. Thank you again for watching.
Absolutely.
And I will see you next.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. But unfortunately, because we did get a 1-star guts, my mood just got completely ruined. You have cooled your last cool, my man.